I'm basically any open I do, I'm basically putting my stack in play. I think at this stage is sort of the way I feel about the kind of 15, 16, 17 big blind range. I'm putting it in play either through a 3-bet pre-flop or through just the natural betting patterns post-flop means that I'm going to be all in. By the end of the hand, there's just no real way to get there unless you rely on a check down at some point, which is a bad thing to rely on typically when you're trying to play poker at a higher level because people aren't going to check it down. The lower levels, you often will get those check downs, and you can get to a cheaper showdown that way. And this is one of those lower levels, but I find that once you get to the final table, even at these sorts of ones, people are always trying to think about the game at a slightly higher level. So you don't really want to assume that just because it's a micro stakes tournament that people are going to play badly. If you've made it through 245 people and you're sitting at the final table, of the 9 people, the vast majority of them have gotten there because they know how to play poker, not because they've had a massive run of cards that has gotten them here, as a without anything else going on. Obviously, raising the 10 deuce here and I've got to call for odds at this point. I've sort of priced myself in. I probably should have shoved there. I'm not sure it makes much difference. It's probably calls anyways, but yeah, we're not in good shape in that hand, no matter where we sit. But hey, that's the way it goes. Sometimes you're going to do that. I do think I absolutely had to try to steal the blinds there. I probably should shove, but given the hand that she turns over, she's obviously not going anywhere. And even not seeing the hand, it doesn't make a lot of sense for her to go anywhere anyways. So I think it really doesn't matter one way or the other how we get it all in. We're getting it all in, and it's, that's just the way it's going to go. I think I can get rid of this on the deuce 7 table. I don't really need to get involved with something that's that weak. Off here, we're in a relatively comfortable spot at the moment, at least, and don't need to do too much crazy stuff there. We probably raise this A7 again if it comes around to us. I think we probably shove actually at this point, just because we need to maximize our fold equity at that stage. We're assuming we've probably got the strongest hand there, but we need to maximize our fold equity at the same time just to make sure that we get the most out of the hand. This is a spot where I might consider a smaller than shove raise, but again, I think in this situation, especially since I just shoved the last hand and this is a significantly stronger hand, I want to make the same sort of play that's kind of mixing up my play here at the final table. So I'm curious what you think of those two shoves. I mean, I'm pretty sure that the shove with the A7 was the only move I could make there. I'm pretty sure that with the jacks, I could have opened for a min raise or a 2.5x sort of raise and tried to induce shoves over top of me later on down the road. But I'm not sure nine-handed that's such a smart thing to be trying to do. Again, I think I probably needed at that point to be shoving my, what was it, 14, 13 big blinds, and saying if you want to play, put all your chips in the middle, or put, match the number of chips that I put in the middle, kind of thing. It's good to see some people listening and watching. We aren't playing Courchevel anymore, obviously. We are playing deuce to 7 now. We didn't do so hot in the Courchevel tournament. We busted out just shortly before the prizes were handed out, which is never where you want to be in a poker situation, no matter what game you're playing. We're not doing so great in our deuce to 7 situation here either at the moment. We're not doing horribly, but we're not doing great. We got like 22 big blinds. You'll also notice that we're playing HoldEm here on Anything But HoldEm over on the right-hand screen. That is a 55 cap, or a 500 cap, 55 cent tournament that I had entered a while back and was playing off-screen for most of the afternoon. But I hit the final table, so I figured, what the heck, we'll throw it up and we'll do both. We'll do both screens and both tournaments for the fans and for the viewers. $23 up top would be a nice addition to the bankroll, I think, for this 500 cap over here. They're a really good. What I love about the 500 caps, from my perspective, is that they're an excellent mix of sit and go and multi-table tournament. I mean, they are obviously a multi-table tournament because they're scheduled to start at a specific time and yada yada yada, but they are capped. So for every buy-in and cap level that you choose to play, you've got basically the sit and go assurance of it's only going to go to this particular height. Now, I rarely see the 500 caps fill up, to be perfectly honest. I think about 350 or 400 is about the highest I've ever seen on a 500 cap. Some of them may fill up from time to time, I don't know, but I certainly don't see them fill up very often. Like I say, this one was only 245, so less than half the cap ended up making it, which basically doesn't put it far off of 180-man sit and go. And it sort of puts it kind of in the middle of 180-man and 360-man sit and go. So it's a nice way to sort of play a sit and go without playing a sit and go, or to better yet play a scheduled sit and go that you know when it's going to start. That's kind of the way I look at these cap tournaments that Stars has put in a few months ago. I like them a lot. I play this one. I play the 110, the 220, and the 330 a fair bit as well. The 330-60 cap is a lot of fun too. For the record, in the third game I'm playing, the one that's off screen at the moment, which is the PSO home game series, it is a pot limit HoldEm game we're playing over there, and I am third of fourth with 5 people paying at the final table. So we are definitely going to get cash out of this. It's just a matter of how much at this point. We're definitely in cash over here on the 500 cap as well, and we're getting a significant amount given our buy-in. We're getting a $2.03 at the very least. But there's $23 and change up top for the winner of this one, so we're not giving that up by any stretch of the imagination yet either. It's awesome to see a bunch of people watching the stream. Glad you're hanging out with me tonight, playing some deuce to 7, watching some 500 cap. We've actually got the fans are playing as well. Sadly, Rosalind's not in the tournament anymore, but I think Hammer and Matt are still grinding away at the deuce to 7, so they're right here along with us. Oh, I guess I'm done over here. I figured that shoving 7s was a good idea. Apparently, that's not gonna be real great when you shove into somebody with kings. Alrighty, well, we pulled $2.03 out of that tournament, so that's not a horrible finish. It's not a great finish, but it's not a horrible finish either. I'm going to fold this deuce to 7 hand. But those are fun tournaments to play in, and I recommend that you have a look at them if you're looking for kind of a cross between an MTT and a sit and go. So we are now playing just the deuce to 7. I'm going to throw the final table of the pot limit hold'em that I'm playing up as well. There. Alrighty, there we go. The pot limit hold'em is up for you now as well. We're just about done on that, I think, but alright, Dale, no problem. I can give you the deuce to 7 rules in a nutshell. The nut hand that you are looking for at the end of the day is a 7-5-4-3 deuce. Now, you're given 3 drawing rounds to get there. And in conjunction with each drawing round, you are having a betting round to go with it. So we've just drawn 4 to our, I think we had a 4 to start with, and actually drawn really nice in a deuce 7. This obviously isn't a nut hand because we're 8 high instead, but the 87-534 is a really good hand, and we're definitely putting money in the pot with this guy. We're standing pat here, we're letting him draw, we're betting, and we're making him either pay to see our hand and see that we beat him, or just fold out. Oh, we tied. It's very rare to see a split pot in deuce to 7, for the record. It is very rare because it works all the way down to the final card as to who ends up as the winner. So that's a very rare sight to see there. But yeah, basically it plays very much the same format as 5-card draw. It's just the low game instead of the high game. Now, unlike other low games like, say, Raz, deuce to 7 punishes you if you have a straight or a flush. Those are not good hands. Those count as poker hands. And therefore, so whereas in Raz, 5-4-3 deuce ace is your best hand, in deuce to 7, if you have a 6-5-4-3 deuce, you lose because that is a deuce to 6 straight. It is not a 6 high. 7-5-4-3 deuce is therefore the nutty hand in deuce to 7. For the record, we are on a 3-minute delay. That's no longer up at the top of the screen here. I usually have that in my titles at the top of the screen. This is a new setup that I'm playing with here now. But yes, we are on a 3-minute delay, so I will be answering your questions 3 minutes after they're asked. And you can actually see in the chat window that is on the stream itself, i.e., not the one that's in your browser window beside the stream, but the one that's actually on the stream when on the video stream itself. You'll see when I'm actually seeing the question, and therefore you'll see when I'm able to answer. That's why I throw the chat window up there, so that you guys can see exactly when I'm seeing the questions. And we're done in the pot limit hold'em tournament as well. So we finished 4th in that one for $1.05, giving us some more points, which is good. We were sitting 5th in that. We've had a few people come up in front of us. We were 2nd for a long time in the overall standings. We're 5th now. So hopefully that bumps me up over a couple of other people. This is the nuts. Basically, it's not quite the nuts, obviously. If this 8 was a 7, it would be the nuts. But I'm basically on a super nutty hand at this point. There's a couple of 7s that beat me, but that's it. So, well, there's actually a few 7s that beat me. I shouldn't say just a couple. There's, you know, all the various combinations of 7-6s that beat me. But I'm pretty happy with situation that I'm finding myself in at this point, and I'm pretty happy to put chips into the pot as often and frequently as I can here. And if I go out to somebody who's playing a 76, then that's just the way it goes. So we're raising here. We're basically putting in, as I said, as many chips as we possibly can into this pot. There's no other button that works for us at the moment other than stand pat and raise any. Wow, and yeah, 76, that's what I said. But that's what I said. I mean, that's basically the only hand that was beating me there, and I really couldn't profitably draw to it, and I couldn't profitably, obviously I'm not fooling an 85 there, so it's the nut 8, and you're going to play the nut 8. That's just the way it goes. So thank you for hanging out and listening to the stream today. We did some Courchevel high-low there at the beginning, which is a game that I think not a lot of people are aware even exists at the moment, which is essentially an Omaha variant that has that all the players are dealt 5 cards to start with. You get a free card on the flop before you decide on your pre-flop betting. Of course, like Omaha, you can only use 2 cards from your hand and 3 cards from the flop. So even though you have 5, you can still only use 2 of them at any given time. Yes, so we played some of that. We didn't do so hot in that. We busted just before the prizes were handed out. We then jumped into deuce to 7, and we then jumped into this deuce to 7, and as you see, we didn't do so well in that one either. We busted out in 241st place when we needed to be top 48 to get tickets. But that's okay. Things happen. They're pretty slim odds, and you will go through a fair number of these before you actually get to the cash at the end. But I still find them useful for playing. Find it useful for learning new games. Yes, ace is always high. Ace is always the high hand, so you got to watch that one out. Flushes work against you, straights work against you. It's a very confusing. If you're used to playing Raz, you can make a lot of mistakes playing deuce 7, I find, and I often do. So it has been awesome to hang out with you guys for the afternoon, though. I'm glad you could come by and hang out with me. It is great to see you all here. Click the follow button. Rosalind, I'm going to go find that tournament now and publicize the living crap out of it. Elron66, I believe, was the password for it. It is going to be an awesome 08 tournament that we're going to stream here on Anything But Hold'em in 2 days' time on Saturday evening, afternoon, and we're going to have a great time with it. So thanks for hanging out with me this afternoon. Join me again next time on Anything But Hold'em. Later, folks.